Bob. This is the other world according to Bob. You're about to watch a very entertaining comic book review. We're reviewing. We're starting off today with The Hand from Nowhere is eager today. Okay,
Justice Society of
we're
America.
thank you, Hand from Nowhere. We're starting off with the new JSA. Look at that cover. Cover is just beautiful. I mean, the way it has everybody on it. It doesn't lie to you in any way. I mean, this could fit in the story. Instead of the big splash page you get of them all feeding on the villain, which is still Prodegaton, that could be part of the book. That could be them charging off to, but it has a few extra people. Anyway, it starts with Alina Wayne talking to Batman. Batman of Earth 2, Earth 1, who knows, who cares? Mom,
Hmm?
I'm summarizing the book.
Oh, sorry. Tell me when you want.
Yeah.
Up there, right? I think all right.
Batman, who knows, who cares? It's irrelevant which Batman it is. It doesn't matter. What is relevant is that they're still fighting. They're still fighting for Dagaton from the last chapter. And all the Justice Society comes to help her. At the very beginning. They all. She has a touching moment, as you saw. And it's, oh, I miss you, Dad, and I love you, and that sort of thing.
And here where they all show up.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. They all show up.
Yeah.
And
He reminds me of Protegaton. Isn't what I thought it was going to look like.
you thought it was Dagon, the fish-headed guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get those two confused too. Yeah. So Dr. Fate puts him instead of employing the the time not time master time stealers, we basically see through Madame Xanadu's eyes what the future will look like if Prodegaton wins. And in that future, you see that they're all, instead of being the time stealers, Black Beetle, Booster Gold's father, Dagon. They're all him. So even if he planned to employ those guys at some point, like I said in my previous review, he was planning to give them the boot anyway, which totally fits because, like I pointed out to Mom before the review, why would Protegaton keep those his his allies around? I mean, yeah, all he needs is him, and you basically see that during this big battle. The battle's half the book.
Yeah.
It's
That battle?
that's through Madame Xanadu's eyes. Because the page before it, you see that Madame Xanadu kind of wigs out
Yeah.
a
Right
little
there.
bit there.
Yeah, she wigs out right there.
She wigs out right there. And you see that he is what the future is going to be through his, if he gets his way.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah. And it's up to the Justice Society to stop it. Dr. Fate ends up trapping him in the snow globe.
And he wasn't happy about that.
Yeah, he was kind of
Let me out,
let me out, let me go. Rip Hunt, I was wrong. Rip Hunter didn't save him, but you gotta believe Rip Hunter knows about this. You know, Rip's no dumb bunny. The way
There's the snow globe.
the way the snow globe's supposed to be in his lab, and he's kind of loaning it to Batman. Loaning it to Batman. Remember from the start of the story?
He stole it.
Yeah.
Batman
stole it. But
he wanted to bring his dad back.
Which they have a nice little tag for.
He stole it from the Time Masters.
Okay. But Rip, the reason I'm saying Rip essentially gave it to him was Rip could easily take that stuff back.
Probably.
Without any hesitation. Rip could just get Booster and anyway, that's my theory regarding that.
I thought they were going to bring Booster in here. I thought they were going to bring him in here.
Yeah, we both did.
And then you turn the page and it's not.
It's the Boom, Jay Garrick's daughter. It's Judy Garrick.
See, I thought they were going to bring Booster in here on this page.
Mom.
And it wasn't.
Yeah, no, it's the Boom. That.
Okay. The red one?
No.
The other one?
I'm trying to get my finger to do what I want.
That
the one with the lightning bolt on it. Just. Not
yeah.
Stargirl.
That's
not
Stargirl.
Our Man.
That's Our Man. Yeah, the one with the lightning bolt. Yeah.
That's Our Man from the 1 Million Adventure. Which, yeah. If you've been following these reviews, I've been kind of looking forward to her coming back too. And they address that Power Girl starts fading mid-battle. So the timeline's correcting itself again.
right in the end, it corrects and everyone goes back. When after Degatan gets captured, everyone goes back to their timeline because that's where they're all going back. Except for
No, Power Girl, just Power Girl
Power
does.
Girl. No, it's just everyone. With Degatan captured and
Because
spell complete, everyone.
Power Girl doesn't.
She's like, Helena.
Power Girl doesn't belong there, though, Mom.
Right.
Everyone else belongs wherever this is, be it Earth 2 or Prime Earth.
They all went back to their own timelines.
No, everyone else belongs there. Karen, Power Girl, does not belong there, and that's why she starts fading.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, what I was going to say was that I think that half the characters that when you started out the new Golden Age, not in that book, in number 1, that's how they're going to bring in the timeline corrected characters.
Okay.
Like the new Red Lantern's daughter and
All those characters.
the Boom and um the let's see, who else was there? I want to say Quizmaster, but I know that's wrong.
Well, anyway,
The Harlequin's son. And her team with Gentleman Ghost. That's to say, Elena's team with Gentleman Ghost. And my theory with her whole team, you'll find is that because they are giving Alan Scott, Sandman, and Jay Garrett their own series again. That's a fact. Right?
You're the one that knows these things. Okay.
And how they're probably going to introduce all these missing characters and the new series are going to be through whatever they do in the next issue. I hope that this series continues because if it continues, it will be an interesting legacy for the Justice Society. If it just stops and we start picking up stuff like they did for Before Watchmen, that's going to kind of be you know, where it leads up to something they forget to create an ending for. You know, I don't think that Rip Hunter's probably gonna come back. I don't think that now anyway, because now that Predagaton's gone, what would be the point? But I will be interested to see if that Jay Garrick's series gets mentioned by the Flash books, or if that's how they pull me back into reading Flash again. Because if you remember, I don't want to pick up main story Flash until they start focusing on other people who aren't Wally. He's had to, but he's had over 200 issues. But needless to say, I enjoyed the new JSA, the new Justice Society. Both titles will be used in the review. I'm anxious to find out what happens to them as a team. But I hope they stick the landing and make Jay Garrick's series just as great as #1 of this. Or they do bring in, like, let's see, Starman from the future, or just the Justice Society as a whole is quite interesting. Like, did you guys know that Vandal Savage and Wildcat are related? Yeah, it's that deep a loophole. I mean, a rabbit hole. The Once you start with Justice Society, they could bring in Extant again. They could try to make Extant a thing. Every time they do, they always fail, but needless to say, Extant could make an. Extant was Parallax's right hand flunky, Mom.
I didn't want to ask.
I knew she was thinking it. Anyway, because Dagaton could have just activated a disturbance or whatever, but I'd still give it a 4 because it's not a perfect book because it didn't feature Rip Hunter. It didn't feature Booster Gold. It didn't feature the modern day Flash. It gave no clue where this is headed afterward. And if they're gonna keep going with this series, they need to have a general idea, you know? So that's why it's only a 4. What's your score, Mom? 4 sound about right?
Yep, 4's okay. Story was good. The artwork I've seen better. I like the artwork towards the end rather than at the beginning there. The book was okay.
Okay. No half number, just 4.
4,
Okay.
4 out of 5.
we both agree. Bob out. Hope this video made sense. Wait, we have other books to do. Different day. Because the last time I exhausted myself. And that means, if you didn't hear Mom, different book. And it's The Flash 799. $7.99. Um, Let me start out by saying, if they had tied this book into what was going on with The Flash in 800, I probably would have picked it up. The new 801, right? Okay. But needless to say, they didn't. You do get to see the Terrifics in this, which I picked up every one but one issue of the Terrifics. The Terrifics were an awesome series. And Mr. Terrific will be getting a son back if they follow through it with continuity. Is they unbrainwash him and they can bring in Big Barda and it can all just be great. But like I said, with Justice Society book, I will not be picking up Mainline Flash. I have too many of them right now just to get through. See if 800 really was just pick it up in one, or if all these issues actually led up to something. Which, it's a shame that whatever they led up to, they had to pause for 800, if they led up to anything at all. But I was kind of reassured to see that the orb became something. The orb that Irie had taken from with younger Justice, the group that doesn't have the name, that's Maxine, Animal Man's daughter, Robin, Damian Wayne, Jonathan Kent, Superboy, and Irie West. I'd still love to see a book of those people, but that had nothing to do with this story. You don't even see the baby playing with the ball, which me and Mom both agreed was a true waste of the baby. Um, you see that he's on the gold. Wally is gold, on the Gold Beetle ship, and they're having time adventures, and they save his kid. But this never happens. Granny Goodness never has him like chained up like this, and there are no parademons, and it just never just never happens. It'll be good to see Gold Beetle again if she shows up in the Jay Garrett series, which will be run by this guy, the guy that wrote this. And it's coming out for my birthday, I found out, which I'm looking forward to. I'm also looking forward to Sandman, seeing if they tie in another book I might be doing in this review. But needless to say, good to see the Terrifics. Good to have Gold Beetle in this adventure, if nothing else. What's the deal with the push for Our Man? And I thought of another one of the missing characters that I was struggling to think of earlier in this review. The second Aquaman. But that's a throwaway thought. Second Aquaman, Harlequin's son, which the Harlequin I just found out was actually a character in the old Green Lantern books. She married him for a little while. But needless to say, that I'd give this book 3. The most interesting part about it, because I knew the Flash would have to defeat Granny Goodness because he had to exist for 800. Most interesting part about it, at least for me, was that adventure they don't even show you off panel. The large adventure is Wally comes back with a beard and just tells Linda that's a story for another time. And I'm like, I want to see that adventure now. I don't want to wait 12 years. I want to see it now. I want to save the day today. Like Kelsey on Craig of the Creek. No? Nobody? I want to save the day today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not next year. And one the most interesting part about it is an adventure you don't get to see. You gotta knock some serious points off. But overall, it was a good book. I I am kind of bummed out that no one's probably going to use Gold Beetle again. But we'll see. I mean, there was the Anti Monitor, Giant Gorilla, Granny Goodness's Castle. It was very cool to look at. And that's why I added a couple points. But it wasn't perfect. Yeah, nothing ever is. Unless you're that Bart Allen book. That helped me get through stuff. If the book can emotionally grab you, then it becomes perfect. Mom always says nothing ever is, but if you can remember where you were, like I remember the Spider Boy, then the book becomes perfect. But this, I won't remember. I'll be like, I think he fought Granny Goodness in this one. So, yeah, that's my definition to get a 5. And with that, Bob out. Oh, crap. We have one more book left. See you when I see you tomorrow. So, yeah. This reminded this reminded me of Guardians of the Galaxy. That's right. Where the other one wrapped up nicely the all of his history and how much of a hero Connor really was within a I'd say about a panel. This felt like they were just doing Guardians of the Galaxy from Marvel, but for DC. And I'm giving it a 3. So, but it wasn't perfect because eventually, with any good series involving Connor Kent, they're gonna have to bring in Superboy Prime. Have to, have to, have to, have to, have to. Not maybe, have to. Eventually, they're gonna bring in whatever Superboy Prime is doing with the parts of reality you can punch in the Watchtower. Just remember, he's in the Watchtower. Eventually, he's gonna have to run it into Shazam when he gets back down to Earth. And Shazam will have to explain that she's married now for a little while, and there's this whole big event going on that brings back Wesley Dodds, and it's a whole thing. But Connor can't stay in space forever. It just, even putting aside the stuff like that I'd like to see, eventually they're going to have to show how he ties in with what's going on with Superman right now because he's in that book. Why is there Connor from this and Connor from what's going on in Superman right now? Think about it. Time will have to catch up with itself. Yeah. I liked it. It was okay. But you can't explore the DC's cosmic universe forever. Eventually, you're gonna have to come back down to Earth. And Down to Earth has a lot of fun things here too. The writers could use like Suicide Squad or explain his history with Amanda Waller or explain how she tried to clone him again and he could fight Match. Just a thought, you know. Um, I give this storyline about 5 issues, and then they'll be out of ideas, and then they will bring him back down to Earth. That is my prediction. That's why I'm giving it a 3. It is far from a perfect book. They did not reveal that they are clones of Connor specifically, but the people he is palling around with, they revealed are clones, but they didn't say exactly, oh, it's a clone of Connor Kent, or it's a clone of going back again to match, or have they been experimenting with Superboy Prime? I really want to know what he's been doing locked up in the Watchtower. I, I mean, they've made DC has made Mick Rory interesting for a time, and if they can do that, they can do they can pull off a lot of things for a little while. So, I do have at least up to 4 or 5 right now. I haven't read it. I feel I gave a review for the last one, but my whole spiel didn't really do justice to number 1. Number 1 was a very, very good book. Number 1 had a lot of potential, but this I can't say the cover didn't happen, because it kind of does. It's in that weird gray area. Okay, he meets the girl, and Mom pointed out that the hand, but he doesn't get squished like this. It's like, yeah, it's not an outright lie. It's not like the one that said death of Booster Gold back in 52. We still don't know how Booster Gold really dies. That's a whole different thing. I hope you've enjoyed this weird little review. It it really has. It really has been interesting on my end, but it's been less effort. So I might do more like these. I know if you enjoy it. As always, like, comment, subscribe. This time for real. Bob out.